Hello everyone, welcome back to the Hearthstone ladder. My name is Rooster and this is not Warlock, this is Midrange Hunter. There we go. So I've been trying to find a couple of interesting hunter decks and tested a couple of them out on ladder. I found a what is it again? I keep confusing Malagos with Yoxeron for some reason. I don't know why. But I've tried a Yoxeron Hunter deck for a little bit. Well, it looked like an interesting addition with without the usual lock and loads in it. And I found the card really inconsistent, so I was willing to try that out against the Warrior. What do we want to keep against a warrior? I don't mind the infested wolf, to be honest, but we need some early game. This is kind of an the deck we're playing is, I think, Colento's, which he used fairly recently. Should be very competitive, and this is actually a deck I would recommend you play if you want to play Hunter instead of. Do we want to coin out King's Alec here? We don't have a great follow-up, but playing Abusive Sergeant on turn 1 is also not very exciting. Although it might lead to a better curve, so I don't mind this too much. Even if he Blood to Icarus this, then that's probably still fine. And if he Fiery War Axes, then, well, we know... Well, do we still want to play King's Alec? I don't know. Maybe we just want to wait for the Animal Companion, or perhaps coin that out. I actually don't hate that. Let's do that right now. So, seems like a decent deck. A little more tailored towards the aggro matchups, so might not be as great against, for example, Warrior as other Hunter decks might be, but should still be pretty decent. And Hunter has an overall pretty decent matchup against both Warrior decks, so we should be able to win this at least a decent percentage of the time. So about the Yoke deck, I like the idea of cutting lock and load and just going a little more all in on, for example, double power shot, which turned out to be okay. But overall, the deck could only win against other wonky decks. Ooh, a Dragon Warrior, okay. Did that take you so long to wait? Oh, okay. Well, I can imagine why you would hesitate on that. Yeah, sure. But I will kill that without hesitation, sure. That can't be allowed to live. You just want to grab some tempo, and the warrior had his war axe, and now I'll grab some tempo back. Also, what's elegant about this list here? Ooh. Okay, well, we've got a decent answer here, so I don't particularly mind. So we can go with the quick shot. I almost quick shotted his face, imagine. Don't wanna use the bow for that purpose, so, bit of a disappointment, but not too much. So let's try and keep up the tempo. He can hit us in the face, but as long as we can keep reasonable control of the board, then I'm feeling pretty good about this so far. That doesn't feel too great, I will admit. What are we scared of right here? Let's track. I'm pretty sure we're tracking right there. So we could go... Well, it's not going to be anything great for this turn. Unfortunately, the huge toad might work. Actually, I don't hate the toad here. Would I take that over a kill command? The toad would give me something to do on this turn. The toad or the juggler, actually. And kill command doesn't really do anything right now. Let's go for the toad. Don't particularly love it. Let's hang on to the weapon for now. Would like to deadly shot that, but that would leave me with nothing to do on the board, so I was always going to use the tracking, and in that case I want to grab something to do on the board, which is always nice. Killing that, slamming that is okay. Hoping to... yeah, that's excellent. Oh wait, is it? Is it actually? It's not actually as excellent as it seemed. So we can hit that over 2 turns. Or we can gamble on a deadly shot. I think we have to gamble on a deadly shot here. I'm pretty happy with either result, actually. So we're going to have to hit this, and that's okay with me. Equip the next bow or deal some face damage. I don't hate equipping the next bow. Is that going to be important? Can I equip the next bow and still play the Kodo? No, so I have to do it right now. Just to get a little bit of tempo back for next turn. Can't kill that unless I unleash. And unleash seems okay, but Kodo seems really exciting here. So I guess I'll face tank the fairy dragon. Not entirely happy about that, but sure. We get to Kodo this, so all is fine in the world. And I think we want to develop the Fiery Bat over Hero Powering here, don't we? I'm pretty sure we do. In the turn where we tracked, I was wondering whether I would have skipped a good card in favor of a... okay, that's a little disappointing, but we can still deal with this board. Could Unleash, I guess. Unleash is not often going to be better than this, and it at least lets us clear the board with the bow. Dropping dangerously low, but if we Unleash and then Infested Wolf, then we can hit here, clear the board, and still have an Infested Wolf, and this thing left over. I think I'm okay with that. Am I really Unleashing here? Yeah, it's never going to be better. So, sure. I don't expect it to be better in the future, so might as well do it right now. If I seem a little twitchy today, then that could be correct. But never mind. I'm entirely okay, don't worry. I am dropping dangerously low here, so that is a mild point of concern. And if his top decks are going to be too amazing, then I might be in trouble. I might still be. I could use a Houndmaster here. Houndmaster would be awesome. High main doesn't hurt. It's not exactly going to bail us out against the Charger, but only the second Corcoran is going to charge us in the face, I think. So that's okay. Alex Truss's champion, he doesn't have a dragon in hand, so that's not going to charge us. Second weapon, Arcanite Reaper kills us, but there's not much we can do about that. And we do kill him in 2 turns, or kill him outright if we top deck Call the Wild, so that's good. I'll take those chances. Is he keeping a dragon? I think he might be. He might be keeping an Alex as champion in the hopes of finding a dragon. We have to flood here. He's not going to... well, it doesn't really matter. There's not really any choice to be made. He's not running Brawl, so there's no harm in using the Flame Juggler here. And as long as that new card is not a dragon, then I think we're okay. Ooh, please no Hunter. Does not seem like a Hunter, or he would have picked it already. Or he's just trying to BM us, but does not seem like a Hunter to me. He can tap into... oh, well. Sometimes they do. Was that really that hard? You're basically wasting your own time more than mine. Well, I don't know about that. It was a game he already won, so... I don't know. That's an interesting question. Whose time are you wasting more when you're delaying your own win? Depends on how people feel about it, I guess.
The light shall bring victory.
I really don't know. Against a priest, what are we looking for? We're just looking to curve out, I think. So, I don't hate the Houndmaster with the coin, actually, but we don't have a 2-drop. So I think if this hand contained a huge toad, or... yeah, basically just a huge toad. Or a King's Alec, yeah. If it contained either of those cards, I would have kept the Houndmaster, but I can't justify that right now. So a priest. Let's see what kind of priest we're up against. Nice curve, I don't hate that. I don't hate it. Could be a Dragon Priest, in which case I can coin out the Eaglehorn Bow against, or a Cthulhu Priest, which is basically the same. I can still coin out the Eaglehorn Bow, which will be pretty sweet, I think. Could coin out Animal Companion, but if it's Hover, then Hover basically dies for free, which would be a shame, so let's go with this and start hitting face. Cthulhu Priest, main thing to watch out for, of course, is the amount of healing. So as soon as they are on a 10-10 Cthulhu, how do we kill that? We could kill command it, I guess. I don't love that notion. We could quick shot it. We don't have much to do aside from the quick shot. I guess we can Abusive Sergeant and hit face. Do I like that? What do I have to do next turn if I don't quick shot? I can Animal Companion. That's not the worst idea. I could just trade in the Fiery Bat and be happy with it. How is that? Trade in the Fiery Bat, of course hit it first in that case, and then just develop the Animal Companion. I think I'm okay with that. Let's see what we get here. Misha is excellent. We could choose to just not trade here. I think I'll hang on to the weapon for now. In the exact case that is Misha, that is actually fine, because he has no easy way of dealing with the Fiery Bat right now. Oh, hello. That is not a common card to see. Little miffed about not being able to coin that out, but if the 2-5 survives till next turn, which is reasonably likely, then we're getting a nice trade-off of that. We could trade in the Fiery Bat now, not particularly in love with that. We could use the Abusive Sergeant to deal some damage. We could Abusive Sergeant and Kill Command to clear. Or we could... Oh, the Abusive is actually beautiful. I should definitely do that. And that means that I'm likely combining it with a Kill Command. It is just... I am really running into Holy Nova here, though. Do I just want to trade and then basically do nothing? No, I'll take the chances of Holy Nova here. I'm fine if he trades, actually. I'm actually fine if he trades there. And we've got the Kodo for next turn if he Holy Nova, so that's still fine. If he has a Nova or Excavated Evil, then that is fine with me. What would that be? A Disciple. Okay. Well, he gets a nice trade here, I guess. That is okay-ish. That is okay-ish. What do we do here? We want to get a kill with the Kodo. That's pretty clear to me. Do we play the Kodo first and then see if we can clean up? Or do we want to trade in the Bat first, for example? I don't hate that either. What is the biggest chance of... Well, we could just clear if we use the bow. If we just use the bow on this. In that case, we can just Kodo first, actually. Sure, that's fine. Could go for the free trade, but that's perhaps a little greedy. We're always killing that this way, and this is still entirely acceptable. If he wishes to trade his loot order in, then that's still okay with me. Cthulhu Priest might be running Entomb, so I might want to be a little careful with the Houndmaster. I'm expecting... Ooh, that's a decent power at shield. That's pretty good for him. Unless this still kills it. There is a 1 in 3 of that happening, and that was pretty good for us. Okay, so we can Houndmaster on the Kodo now, which might entice him to use some removal on that, so I don't hate it. We still want to keep trading. Yes, I am placing it in Shadow or Death range, so I guess I do want to trade here. And I would prefer, I highly prefer playing that over the high main, because if that gets entombed, then we're basically doing nothing on the board here. So sure. Board's getting increasingly hard for our opponent to deal with, so that's fine. Could still have an Entomb, would be a little unfortunate. Do we want to kill that? I kinda don't. I kinda just want to ignore it and give him the trade here. That is probably okay. Alternatives would be to kill command it. That seems really ugly. I think we just high main and see what happens. Dealing 4 damage to face is nothing to slouch at. Sure. He gets the Entomb and I'll be a little sad here. But that's just the way it is. And it's sad times, unfortunately. We might be in a little bit of trouble in this case, because he dealt with our board quite sufficiently. That is a nice top deck though, so I don't hate it. Chances of him having a second Shadow or Death aren't that big, so that's a pretty reasonable board, and still allows us to hero power for some additional pressure. We do have 10 burst damage, so if he heals and just develops some minions that don't have taunt, then we kill him next turn. So that's actually quite relevant. He'll have to commit a 6/5 here, if he doesn't want to die. So that's game, right? We have 9, we have 9 plus 8 plus 2 equals 19. There we go. Was a little scared about the mana there, but that turned out to be okay. There we go. So yeah, Priest's still in a little bit of trouble. Hunter can still be rough, even though he had the correct answers, but it didn't matter. Didn't matter in the least for him. So, what matchups are I hoping to face? Well, Dragon Warrior is a little unfavored, I think. Actually, Pirate Warrior is unfavored, and Dragon Warrior is basically a 50-50, I think. Other kinds of warriors are probably good for us. Although Dragon Warrior and Pirate Warrior are kind of popular right now. That's a curve, I don't hate it. I think I'll throw away the kill command. Do I keep the Infested Wolf? I do have a decent curve, so I don't hate it right now. Would I prefer... I think I would prefer most other cards in my deck, though. Would like to be able to coin something out and grab some tempo. So coining out a 2-drop on turn 1 is especially fine, unless, of course, he has the War Axe on turn 2. He's only seen a couple cards of his deck. I think we just have to go for the situation in which he doesn't. And I think we're starting out with the huge Toad to prevent him making use of the thing. Against a warrior, that might be more of a liability than a benefit, so Toad is probably fine. We don't need to explicitly win the joust and draw a card or something. The King's Alec Joust is more of a random bonus than something you really desperately want. He would have axed that if he had it, so I'm pretty happy about that situation. Because that means that this is likely to go unanswered. Ooh, so either a Tempo Warrior deck or a Dragon Warrior. Or I guess a Pirate. No, it's not going to be a Pirate. Pirate Warrior doesn't run Slam, I think. So that's pretty good for us, because grabbing the Tempo against the Tempo-based deck is pretty good. Double Bloodtaker? Bloodtaker and Slam. Okay, that's interesting. I suppose that might be correct, indeed. I'll develop the bow here and just start clearing that. Bow does give the advantage of being able to likely kill whatever he plays over here. I guess, unless it's something like a Berserker. That would kind of suck. I will happily, well, not entirely happily, but I will face that. Unless, of course, I have absolutely nothing better to do and I can just quick shot and Flame Juggler here, since that looks to be the better option. I don't have to attack face, let me just keep the weapon for now. So maybe I should have played the Flame Juggler earlier, to force him to deal with that, and then... I don't know. Yeah, that's a pretty good tempo card, but I've got a pretty good tempo card in my hand also, so I don't hate that. Could play the Houndmaster for tempo here, but in that case I might just be better off with a Deadly Shot and a Hero Power, I think. He might have a Draconid Crusher, that might be tough to deal with, but I have a high main to place on the opposite side, and that's going to be pretty good for us, I think. So sure, I don't mind that too much. That is a decent trade against the high main, but that still leaves us with 2 2/2s, so that's perfectly acceptable. If he trades into the high main, yeah, sure, he's allowed to. I don't mind that too much. He still thinks he's the aggressor. He's probably right. For now he is. But the Call the Wild card in my hand is going to be really good, I think. Can I get rid of that? I don't think I can. That's a little unfortunate. So I'll have to take another 5 from that. Or I can taunt up. The taunt doesn't seem too awful. I don't think that deck runs... That deck might actually run executes. So would I Houndmaster that? Or do I just place another high main? I'm taking another 5 next turn, which worries me a little, but the high main is such a presence. I think he might have to trade against that. So sure, that's fine. I can Houndmaster next turn if need be. I don't like taking another 5 from that though. Ooh, that's a problem. Well, actually, if he attacks face, then I can just Houndmaster, and then... don't like that. We might be dead. And I don't like being dead here. So we could Call the Wild to get a taunt, and then trade in... Perhaps not trade in, actually. Alternatively, we could kill command Houndmaster. I kinda like that. I don't like the fact that I am not left without a taunt afterwards. Is there a way that I get to keep my taunt? Yes, by leaving the Ragnaros up. Do I like that? Not really, but I kind of have to. Actually, this does give me a taunt and a lot of extra minions on the table, so I think I like that approach. We've got 21 damage here, 24 damage. That doesn't entirely work, but if I trade this one in and attack the other ones into face, he's only got a very slim chance of actually killing me here. So I think I'm okay with that. And he needs 2 chargers to kill me through. He needs a charger and a weapon, so I don't think he's able to kill me here. But I've been wrong before. This deck doesn't run Mortal Strike. That does not help him. No, he's pretty much dead. Oh, execute which one? Execute that one. And yeah, I haven't won yet, but it is pretty much game, right? That's 8, that's 12, that is. Yep. Alright, so yeah, keeping the Ragnaros alive was the correct play there, because it set up the quickest kill, and I can't survive on 3 health against the warrior for that long. So that was pretty good. But the amount of face damage you're taking over there is kind of scary. Gotta just man up, I guess, and just go for it. If he gets the 1 in 7, then he gets the 1 in 7. Good for him. A Warlock. Well, we're definitely going for early board here, so I don't mind keeping both Fiery Bats, actually. Especially when going first, because Fiery Bat on turn 2 is still not embarrassing. And I may have something to quick shot, so that's fine. Let's see. And if this is a Reno lock or slower Warlock deck, I don't think there's a lot of non-Reno decks around actually. Coin into another 1-drop Voidwalker perhaps, or just another Argent Squire. Well, that means that the Fiery Bat is actually going to get some value, so I think I'm okay with that. Even playing the second Fiery Bat, that is probably okay. Because his likely course of action is just to trade these in, and then we're just trading 1-drops against 1-drop, so that's fine. Chances of hitting are perfectly fine here, and now we take a 50-50 on the other one. That is acceptable. Ooh, that would hurt though. I may actually have to quick shot that next turn, or perhaps unleash or something like that. If we get a Huffer here, that is actually pretty bad, so I may just have to quick shot that down. I don't like that. As long as I don't get a Huffer, this is reasonably okay, right? He gets a pretty good trade with a Power Overwhelming, I guess, but that's probably okay. So no Huffer and everything's fine. I don't have a good play for next turn, so I might just quick shot and Hero Power next turn. And if the Misha survives, slim chance of that happening, but if it would survive, then the Houndmaster is pretty reasonable. And if my best option for next turn is going to be quick shot anyway, then I think I'm pretty content with that. So yeah, sure. While that may look pretty crappy, if I get an Unleash here, would I use it? I don't mind using tracking here, because fitting the hero power in is not actually all that important. And if I can grab an Unleash from this, I think I'll take the Abusive Sergeant. Quick shot that and then play the Sergeant. That seems kind of bad. I don't have to play the Sergeant here, right? I could just take the quick shot and have a decent answer against something that might happen later. I don't love it, but I don't love any of these cards, so I guess I'll quick shot that and we'll see what happens. Warlock's not doing too well on cards either, so may not have the best options available. So yeah, if he gets to trade his Councilman into something, then I can at least quick shut it down afterwards, so that's okay-ish. Not terribly excited by how this is going, of course, but you can probably imagine that. Would have loved to find an Unleash from that tracking. That would have been really sweet. So he's just going face, can't say I blame him. That's a pretty good Unleash, I think. Let me think about that. Yeah, that's going to be pretty good. Alright, so definitely using that. Does that allow us to kill that thing? I don't think so. But I definitely want to get rid of some of these things on the board. We can just trade here and then quick shot it, right? That's probably the neatest way to deal with that. So quick shot that, kill this, and trade into the rest of the minions. He still gets to trade his other things, but I guess that's okay. Am I trading for the Imp? I guess I'm trading for the Imp. Not looking too good, but he'll have to start tapping pretty soon, so taking the obvious trade and then flooding the board again. I don't feel good about this matchup despite the Unleashes. That's actually kind of surprising, because he gets to fill the board really easily. So if you're facing a lot of Zoo, then you could definitely consider for example, adding in Explosive Trap or something, because that's surprisingly effective, since Zoo players are much more likely to go face nowadays. Please don't have Power Overwhelming here. Or that card, ouch. Or both, wow, well why not? Do we have... oh, he still has a couple of attacks, right? Do we have a way to deal with that? Besides YOLOing a deadly shot, which I don't approve of. That's not good. That is definitely not good. Not even winning a joust against a Zoolock. That's also not good. But at least we can taunt up, and if he doesn't have a great answer, then he might have to run the Sea Giant in. And that means we can kill command it next turn. What did he get? What did he get? That is not game. You are... okay, that's a trade, so that's something. Oh, and another one. Oh, of course, yeah. Those top decks were pretty much perfect. That is hard to beat. That is really rough. Can't do much about that. Are we dead? We're not technically dead, I guess. Keeping the kill command for a possible kill next turn? That's not gonna happen.
My shield for Argus.
Yeah. You're not winning a game like that. We could have had a chance there if he wasn't able to cleanly kill the Houndbastard's minion there. There were definitely a lot of cards in his deck that didn't allow him to do that, so... then we could have been in an okay spot if we could have at least killed the Sea Giant without it hitting our face first. But yeah, sometimes that just doesn't happen. I don't feel too terrible about that. It's just the thing that happens sometimes. So another warrior, that should be good for us. But we'll see whether, well, mostly how aggressive our opponent's gonna be. Assuming this is a we can't keep Cold Wild in our opener, can we? That's ridiculous, especially with nothing to do in the early game. I think we have to throw all of these out of the window and just get some early game first. That is incredibly greedy. If I had a Fiery Bat and a 2-mana minion on hand, then I would probably keep the Cold Wild, because the chances of us drawing decently until that point is actually not awful. So this will tell us what we're dealing with, I think, because a control warrior would be really unlikely to coin anything out, basically. Are we going for the Flame Juggler? Flame Juggler might be more awkward in the coming turns, actually. Might actually be more awkward than the huge toad, although... yeah, let's go Flame Juggler here. Might also be a little harder for him to deal with without... yeah, for example, Slam wouldn't deal with that. And now Unleash does deal with the Fairy Dragon, although we might have to take it on the chin for a little bit. Actually, let's just go for the 50-50 again. He's going to kill this, and it has a chance of killing the Fairy Dragon, so we could get lucky here. And playing nothing is not really an option. Playing Unleash is not really an option, so I'm actually okay with that. So he's obviously playing a minion first. And then taking the Hunter Hero power, alright. Well, he's definitely got the tempo advantage on us here, but we're... yeah, that's obvious. That's pretty much what was going to happen. So don't feel too horrible about that, but we are taking a little bit of damage right now. If we play Infested Wolf and he has... I don't hate him playing a wolf, a ghoul here. Because that at least means he's trading his Fairy Dragon into this, and that's pretty much the purpose I intended for that card. So, yeah, that's probably okay. That's the worst situation, and if the worst situation is okay, then I think, who am I to complain? None of your business, of course. But, yeah. So that's a pretty obvious trade for him, and I'm pretty sure he would take that. If he accesses that, then I think I'm happy with that, because that means I still have one left to trade into the Fairy Dragon. He gets to pick one off for free, he gets to deal 3 damage to face, but... well, if I Houndmaster that, I don't really want to Houndmaster that. Please give me a 2-drop here. That would be really sweet. Nice. Like a boss. Because this means that I get to have a decent chance of drawing a card, first of all. And I can unleash to kill those two. So that's pretty sweet, actually. Killing those two. Doesn't matter. Really irrelevant. Nothing will get bounced, nothing will get stolen, so I guess this doesn't matter. Actually, in the case of a Tempo Warrior deck, you would probably prefer the ones without charge over the ones with charge, because if Sylvanas happens to steal it, then it can't immediately attack. So there's kind of a difference. I don't expect a deck like this to run Sylvanas. Killing the minion, I expect. But he doesn't have to. Oh, he doesn't have a dragon in hand. Well, that's kind of sucky for him. Because we're gonna quick shot an infested wolf, I guess. I don't want to take that one. I kinda don't, no. Houndmaster would be good here, Savannah Highmane would be good here, but I think the play is going to be this. Pretty much 100% of the time. Doesn't have any dragons in hand, which is pretty great, because that makes his cards a little sucky. We've only seen one dragon from him. So he's played his fairy dragon knowingly, with probably a couple of synergy cards in hand, hoping that he would top deck a dragon in the coming few turns, but he didn't. And that's pretty good for us, as you may well be aware. If that triggers, then he's drawn a dragon last turn. Okay, and he's going all face all the time. All right. So are we trading and then using Houndmaster, or are we not using Houndmaster at all? There's a question. We might trade and Highmane, actually. Just to get a bigger threat on the board. I think I prefer that approach. We still have the Houndmaster for a coming turn, sure. We can Houndmaster and Deadly Shot in a turn where that's a little more convenient. Could have Houndmaster Deadly Shot at this turn, before or after trading, I don't know. But this is a pretty good Deadly Shot over here, so I like that. Or can we just kill him? We can't kill him, right? No, we can't kill him. So do we taunt? We pretty much always taunt the big guy here, right? Does that matter? If he slam executes or something, I think I actually had Masters a small one. I'm not sure this is relevant, but he could weapon and then charge through. I don't think he can win this anymore. Not even Ragnaros going to bail him out here, no. Alright. So Dragon Warrior is not as bad as it seems. And that means that Midrange Warrior is a pretty good deck to play if all you're seeing is warriors on the ladder. Good, we got a golden starving butter. That's all I've ever wanted in my life. Anyway, that is going to be it for today. So I'm going to thank you very much for watching. Hope you'll have fun with this deck on the ladder. It seems really decent. And it is not very expensive, except of course for the double Call the Wild. But that is pretty much standard for if you want to play Hunter right now. So you'll just have to bite the bullet, I'm afraid. But that is all for now. So if you've got any suggestions on what deck to play next, please leave a comment below. And as usual, have a great day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.